you said you were down south in Santa Barbara. You graduated from there in nursing school 2015.
Yeah.
You said okay, and then I guess give us kind of like what you like your background and your timeline on what you did after that point, because you went from, you said you were in Georgia for a bit, and then you worked at, definitely when we were your students, you would tell us about working at this other hospital. I don't know if that was in Georgia, and then like you eventually became a nursing instructor.
Yeah.
So like give us
the quick
quick and dirty. Not even quick and dirty.
Okay.
Like give us an explanation. Like
okay.
Yeah, this is an interview.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Let's see. So I started in Santa Barbara, went to the City College there, got my associate degree in nursing, worked on a surgical trauma floor for a few years. Great place to work, great place to start my career.
Were you doing night shift or days?
Night shift for probably about a year and a half, and then day shift for about a year. And then, night shift is like its own beast, right? But I also was working, so I guess I'll back up a tiny bit, because when I was at LVN, I also worked as a nurse in a nursing home. So I worked as a CNA in a nursing home for like 2 years, nursing assistant, and then I went and worked as a nurse in a nursing home, a vocational nurse in this county. And then when I went to Santa Barbara, I actually was going to quit, but that nursing home had a facility at the time in Santa Barbara, so they were able to just transfer me over so I could work as an LVN while I was in nursing school. And so I did that in Santa Barbara County. And then when I got my RN and took a job at the hospital there, I was so scared that I like couldn't cut it, that I didn't quit my vocational my job at the nursing home, because I also really loved working at the nursing home. And so I like worked both jobs for a while, and then finally was like, okay, the hospital is where I want to be now. So I quit my nursing home job, worked at the hospital. After that, I moved to Georgia, worked at a
Why Georgia?
What?
Why Georgia?
My husband got a job there,
okay.
Working. So I got married at that, like right around that time, and right after we got married, we moved there, knowing it would be a short-term assignment. So we were there for like 2.5 years or so, and got a job at a really great hospital there. Amazing teaching hospital. Really, like, we would get patients from all over the country. We did a lot of clinical trials. I learned a lot in my first 2.5 years of nursing, of course, in Santa Barbara. But then going there, I felt brand new. Like, everything was just wild. Like, the stuff I'd learned about, but we never even saw. And so that was really cool. I learned a lot there. I think I got my bachelor's while I was in Santa Barbara still. And I got my master's somewhere in that transition. I don't remember because it was online. And then after Georgia, we moved back to California. I did a travel job on the Central Coast. And that was really just to have a smoother transition back to California. Like, not have to try and find a job right away. Just like go right into a position, and then figure out where we're going to go from there. So I took that travel job, Central Coast, then moved to San Diego after that travel assignment was done. So that was like a 13-week assignment in California. Went to San Diego, worked in San Diego on a neuro PCU floor, and at Scripps Green. I shouldn't say the hospital name. I don't know.
Oh, you can say whatever you want. Yeah.
But that was a cool job too.
Scripps Green.
Yeah, so it's on Torrey Pines Golf Course.
It's on a golf course?
Yeah, it's on a golf course.
Playing golf?
Yeah, so like on our unit, one whole wall is all windows, like one of the whole walls of patient's room. So you'd be in the patient room, and the whole wall is a giant window, and you can look down and watch people golf. And you can see people windsurfing off the cliffs. And like they had one of the Opens, the US Open, while I was there, and so like all the patients are like they watched Tiger Woods like out their window.
Are you serious? Gnarly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was really an interesting place to work. Definitely different than like anywhere else I'd worked. Way like our patient ratios were really good. Like they didn't put a lot of tax on the nurses, and they ran things a little bit differently in regards to like the expectations of what a CNA would do versus what a nurse would do than anywhere I'd ever worked before. So it took some of the work off the nursing staff, and their whole philosophy was kind of like work to the highest level of your degree. So In some ways it was really cool because it gave us more time, but it also took away from patient care a little bit, in that we weren't responsible for very much like direct patient care. We were more responsible for assessments and meds and things like that. So good and bad, like it definitely affects the therapeutic relationship that you build with people when they're like, I have to go to the bathroom, and you're like, okay, I'll get somebody else to help you, like to not just be able to respond and help them when they need help.
The crazy thing about the helping someone to the bathroom is like you'll be busy and then you'll have to do it, and then you'll lose a chunk of time, which can be kind of nervous sometimes, like when you're already behind.
Yeah, totally.
But it is nice having someone help with the bathroom.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice. But then also sometimes you take them to the bathroom and you get like really good assessment and information you wouldn't normally get.
If their oxygen drops.
Yeah, or like they become more comfortable with you, so they disclose something that hadn't been disclosed that like is pivotal in their care.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it seems like a meaningless task, but sometimes it actually is really important. Right?
That's a really good way to look at it.
And so, so it's like, so it's interesting. So it was a weird balance, because I feel like sometimes the patients think like, oh, you're too good to help me with that. And it's like, no, they actually don't. They like want us to separate that, which in this county, sometimes you don't even have CNAs. So the nurses are doing everything. So there's good and bad, right? Like it might disrupt the therapeutic relationship with your patients if you didn't do those things, but doing those things, it's going to take away from the nursing, like the true nursing skills that you might need to do, like assessment things and stuff like that. So I don't know. There's a balance for sure. But so that was an interesting job. While I was there, COVID hit. I was pregnant, and CDC said, if you remember, you don't have to wear, I don't know how it was in this county, but they told us that we didn't have to wear N95s with our COVID patients anymore. We could just wear a simple mask. And I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So a simple mask is going to protect us against COVID-19. And they're like, no, it's not. But you can still